you this for years and years and years, and nobody wants to listen. It's no, you're making it up. Blah 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 blah. Savages. Now you see who these people are. It used to be 90-some percent, 90%. Throughout the years and education and all the atrocities of the racist right-wing populists, and not necessarily even the right wing, just the majority of the United States population being filthy racist and hypocritical, especially the evangelical Christian crowd, the majority, Southern evangelical white Christians. Now you see their true colors. If you saw anything, if you looked at the convention, at the rally they had in Madison Square Garden, they're still openly racist. And you see their rallies posting pictures of two criminals who had entered and committed crimes to describe the entirety of the migrant population coming into the United States. Openly racist. And, you saw the filthy, racist, abhorrent talking points and quote-unquote jokes from the quote-unquote comedian. That's not a comedian. He's a piece of shit, a racist scumbag. They know that. They don't just invite Joe Blow out to speak at rallies and conventions. They know exactly who they're putting up there. They got people in the political teams looking, hey, find out we got somebody, he's real funny. Who's this guy? Find out who this guy. They're not going to let somebody up on a stage behind a microphone at a major national rally event who they haven't vetted, meaning investigated to see who they are and what they stand for and the right blah blah blah. They know exactly who this guy is, and if you go and look at this so-called comedian's jokes, he's a racist right-wing piece of shit. And that's who they invited. And he went true to form and went and called my mother and the rest of my Puerto Rican people, including me and everyone in my family, trash. So, there you have it. There is no excuse. And then Byron Donalds, Uncle Tom, the Uncle Tom of the Republican Party, one or two. They got two. Tim Scott and him, apologizing for the filthy racist rhetoric that comes out of the people, the MAGA, who are the ones that are in charge, that comes out of their mouths, and his mouth too. This same motherfucker came out saying during a town hall event, that black families were better off during Jim Crow. This horrendous fucking, I don't know how somebody can live with themselves unless you're a piece of shit, Malcolm X was right. I know for a fact that if I was back in a plantation where my ancestors were, my African ancestors were, I would have tried to kill the owner of the plantation. I was not a house Negro. I was a field Negro. Still am. Will always be. I'm gonna die. I die with dignity. Take something, they can't take with me. They can't take that from me. But these motherfuckers sell their soul for a little bit of power. Byron Donalds, Tim Scott, the rest of the people who are ashamed to those of us who have African blood. A disgrace to our ancestors. You see them, they go out there trying to defend and say, oh, that was just a joke and we don't agree with that. And you see them, all the shit that comes out of their mouth. I don't know how they're not choking on it. You know? And it's called gaslighting. Oh, no, you didn't see what you saw. You didn't see. Don't believe what you saw. Don't believe what you heard. Oh, Donald Trump sits down with Nick Fuentes, a Nazi. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Pay attention. No, it's the border. What you need to be paying attention is the border and inflation, which, by the way, is the lowest inflation of all the industrialized nations right now after the pandemic. But please, you know, please don't pay attention to everything the people, you know, that we support and that are in charge of the Republican Party right now say. Don't listen to, don't believe your eyes. Oh, it's out of context. When that piece of shit, Leghorn, whatever the fuck his name is, from Louisiana, that Kennedy piece of shit, racist scumbag, says that if it wasn't because of the United States, Mexicans will be eating cat food. But no, you took it out of context. You know, I'm not racist. I just classify people, you know, based on their ethnic and background as animals. Or when he went and told that lady that she was simply because she was an Arabic American, the doctor, the professor, right away, right off the bat, first question out of his filthy racist piece of shit mouth is, are you a Hamas supporter, right? Why don't you wear a bag? You should wear a bag, put a bag over your face. That type of shit, and not one of these motherfuckers censor him.
You've got mail.
The Republican Party is a religious, extreme right-wing, Nazi sympathizing death cult. The Republican Party of today. And yet, in 2024, half of the United States electorate are voting for this piece of shit, scumbag, racist asshole, accused of and convicted, civilly liable of raping, and I don't know how many rape accusations this piece of shit has. You know, the logs, Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs are full of his name all over the fucking place. It doesn't matter to these people. They're talking about the issues. Those are the issues. The issue is you don't give the job for the most powerful person on the planet to a scumbag like that. That is the issue. That is the main issue. See, this is not a football game, man. I mean, that's what they think. They treat their political and religious affiliations like a football team. They don't give a shit how many people their quarterback rapes, hits, kills, as long as he scores touchdowns. They want him in the job. You know, I just don't understand it, you know, but that part of me that doesn't understand it gives way to the other part that understands. This country has still not evolved out of their filthy, racist, white supremacist, European supremacist agenda. It hasn't. It hasn't. The fact that they say, well, we're making progress. Okay. So all the people that get oppressed, you know, now you see the Republican Party completely attacking, going full on racist against anybody who wants to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, saying that those are racist concepts. They're accusing the other side of that of which they are racist. And they get all offended when they called out on it. Oh, and then with no, you cost. I mean, they're accusing the other side of that of which they're guilty. They tell people, oh, the reason Donald Trump had an assassination attempt is you compared him to Hitler. No. The reason the people compare Donald Trump to Hitler is because he uses the damn same textbook that the Nazis did, that Hitler used. The same tactics, demonizing immigrants or minorities, homophobic, misogynist. The Nazis specifically had places where German women would live in, and they would send their SS officials to have sex with these women so they could get them pregnant and have more Nazis. That was the sole purpose of the existence of women in the Third Reich. And guess what the Nazis are, because that's what they are, the Nazis in the United States are pushing. I mean, out of their own mouths. Women. Sarah Huckabee Sanders stands up there on a rally and says, attacks women without children. Because, their view of women is you don't have a right to control your pregnancies, your body. You should just be a vessel for men's semen. That's it. That's it. They attack them openly about when they decide they're main speakers. That's what they believe in, that women should not, be out there seeking success and prioritizing their careers. They openly insult women without children. They call them childless cat ladies, like J.D. Vance says, and that's what he thinks. He believes that that's what the problem that the United States is facing. All these childless cat women. The same shit the Nazis stood for. Demonizing, minorities and immigrants. Yeah, the same shit. Oh, they're poisoning our blood. The same shit the Nazis did. Calling them vermin, just like Hitler did. Who else called immigrants vermin? Take a wild guess. Donald Trump. Go look it up. I'm not making this shit up. It calls the press the enemy of the people. Guess who else did that? Both Hitler and Donald Trump. Both of them. Now he's openly calling for retaliation against the enemy within. And now that they're contorting themselves, the republics contorting themselves into a pretzel, trying to explain away, you're taking out of context. No, motherfucker. The context of him saying that we're gonna send the military to combat the enemy within, the leftists and the blah blah blah. Guess who that is? And they asked him, and he specified it. The radical left, aka, according to him, Adam Schiff, the Pelosi's, the rest of the political enemies, his opponents. And then they that was a different conversation. No, motherfucker. They asked him specifically, and he was specific about it. It's called gaslighting. No, don't believe what you heard or saw. Believe what I tell you saw. That's what gaslighting is. And the fact that we're still here and we have a neck-to-neck race between a scumbag like that and a highly qualified, highly educated black Asian woman or Indian woman who he openly attacked because, that's one of the qualities of racist white supremacists. They think they're entitled to tell minorities which ethnicity you belong to. And if you don't look like what they think you should look like as a minority, they'll tell you, well, you don't look like that to me. Just like he did. It's on tape on some hearings about some casino he was wanting to build on, or something like that, on Indian or Native American land. He was openly saying, well, he doesn't look Indian to me. But openly. That's a textbook. That is a quality of racist people. Racist white people think that they're entitled to tell other people, unless you convince you're a Native American or black, well, you don't have my approval for being considered black or Indian or whatever it is you're claiming, so you're not. I mean, the audacity of this racist pieces of shit. And the fact that we're still here. And you see these people. I have friends who are out there posting shit. Friends of mine posting shit online. Like, we have to save our children. They're still believing that crap. They're posting it saying, well, be careful because if the Democrats win, they're going to do a sex change operation on your children at school. They believe this shit. They're openly spreading these lies, these filthy lies that Democrats are pedophiles and they're drinking the adrenochrome thing. The Democrats elites are out there kidnapping children or trafficking them and taking their blood out to take it and be they get younger or something like that. Or that is a Nazi conspiracy that got shared during Hitler's time. Look it up. The origin of the adrenochrome conspiracy theory. This is where we're at in 2024. And you see these people, well, I'm on the fence, I'm undecided. What is there to not... How much evidence do you need that if you vote for Donald Trump, you're supporting a scumbag and a piece of shit? How much more evidence? How much more? I mean, the problem is not Donald Trump. He's going to die a piece of shit forever. That's going to be on his grave on his gravestone. That's not the problem. The problem is people supporting him. That we still have, and what I was saying earlier is like, well, it takes time for change. How would you like to be enslaved or be oppressed or be shot 35 times more than your white neighbor? Or let's turn the tables around. If white people were getting shot 35 times more when compared to their black cohorts by police, and a black person came to you and told you, I understand your frustration, but it takes time. So meaning you're going to have another 3 or 4 generations of your family being mass incarcerated and shot by police at 35 times more than your white cohorts, but it's going to be okay. I mean, what the fuck? And there's people, why you get so worked up? Why don't you? It's just horrendous. I understand from the point of view of the people with Arabic descent and Palestinian descent when they don't want to vote. I want to make a video on that for the Biden administration, because Biden has been supplying, which, by the way, it's funny how this permeates all structures of society, because Biden's been supplying arms to Netanyahu, and Netanyahu's committing genocide against the Palestinians. Now he's committing another mass murder against the Lebanese. This fucking, fascist piece of shit, Netanyahu and his, but then, the same people who are criticizing that, which I'm one of them, I think that's going to be, that's horrendous that we're still supplying weapons to these assholes. But the same people who are saying that, they stand up and applaud when I'm talking about the Republicans. If you're a Republican, you can't criticize. You cannot criticize the supply of arms to Netanyahu, because when Netanyahu came to Congress, they all stood up and worshipped him. The Republicans, they all stood up and round of applause and they're a hero, this mass murdering piece of shit. So, and I hear people in the Arabic community saying, I can't support, I'm going to vote for Trump. Trump's the one who fucking enabled this guy, who declared Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Israel doesn't exist. It's a made-up fucking nation. It's stolen. They had a kingdom, a small kingdom, 3,000 years ago or some shit like that. 3,000 years ago. It's not what it is today. It was stolen from the Palestinians. Palestine existed that shit that Palestine didn't exist, that's a lie. So if you're Arab and you're Palestinian and you really have a bone to pick about the Democrats supplying arms to the Palestinians, guess what? They didn't do it alone. They did it with the Republicans, and the Republicans are actually openly, and they get caught in hot mics all the time, in the fucking, on the floor of the Congress, saying that they should kill all Palestinians. This is a Republican, one of this Republican women got representatives or a senator on the floor, openly stated they should kill them all. Just like that. You can't vote Republican. You can't, because the position of the Republican Party when it comes to Palestine is that they should wipe out Palestine and build hotels, Trump hotels over there. Wipe out. That's what the Republicans want. To the Democrats' defense, they're actually they're still fucking supplying weapons, but they're trying to push for a deal because they know it's a political liability. But then here's the problem. The Israeli lobby, scumbags that they are, that AIPAC, which is a fascist, corrupt organization, the American Israeli Political Committee, or they're so corrupt that they'll vote against anyone, on the left, on the right, on anybody. They're the ones that have made it a reality for Israel to be able to commit the atrocities that they've been committed. Because if you don't vote for them, they'll campaign against you. So that's a hot button, and the Democrats know that. The Democrats know that. The Democrats know that if they stop supplying weapons to Israel, a large portion of the religious right wing, who are the most rabid right wing, fascist, racist citizens in the United States, will vote against them. That's why. That's why the Democrats haven't stopped the flow of weapons to Israel, because they know that it's an election year. They can't afford to lose the votes from the political, the few votes that they're going to get, because there's an actual few votes that are swinging, and people from they're swinging away from the Republicans, because they see what the type of racist filth that they are. And not only that, because they see the reality that this guy, Donald Trump, is a liability for it. And even the business people, when he does his fundraisers, they're out there saying this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's talking about, getting into another trade war. So, which is not good for business right now. So they know that for this people, when it comes to the billionaires and the corporations and stuff, they don't give a shit about right wing or left wing. All they care is about how much money they can get, and they're not going to risk another Trump presidency. When they hear this guy speaking, he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about when it comes to tariffs and how geopolitics and economics works. So, and they know he's a loser, so they're not going to risk it. But again, we're again back to the world sees what the United States is really. It really is what really it is. And we have half of a population that no matter what happens, they're going to vote for this fascist demagogue, pathological lying fascist, racist, openly racist demagogue with a cabal of scumbags around him, with Project 2025 on the wings, waiting to impose what I would consider the American Taliban, a right-wing death cult theocracy, which is what they want. So, People say, well, it's better than it used to be. Well, it's not goddamn good enough, you know. And we need to make sure that we leave something better for our children. You know, them motherfuckers saying that we're an island of garbage. You know. I got garbage for you, motherfucker. We gotta throw the garbage out on November 5th. I already voted November 5th. You know, we gotta get rid of these people. If they get back in power, we're fucked. I don't know. They think it's a game. It's not.